Thank you guys for coming back to another episode of Cobra TV, and today we're going to talk about the music of No Man's Sky, 65 Days of Static. The album is almost here. In fact, it's so close that you can now pre-order on 65daysofstatic.com. The entry on their website reads 65 Propaganda 0A0416 Infinity Test. Brothers and sisters, here it is. A couple of years ago, we were approached by video game makers Hello Games to provide some original music for a new game they were developing, then known as Project Skyscraper, now known as No Man's Sky, a sort of hyper-real solitary waltz through a parallel universe in search of oblivion or whatever feels appropriate in the face of the indifference of eternity. The game close to completion and due for release this summer is also procedural, meaning for those of you who don't do games that it generates itself algorithmically rather than manually, and therefore it is, to all intents and purposes, evil. In other words, it means that the parts of the game one journeys through are theoretically unique, built by the game itself, and you are experiencing them for the first time. And the idea was to create an audio engine that also generates unique instances of music from a central library of sounds. 65 Days of Static sounds. Right now, 2 years later, 65 Days of Static are working really hard with Hello Games' best scientists and magicians to finish feeding enough raw music into the gaping mouth of the insane AI composer and the machine to satisfy the tabula rasa that will conduct this vast symphony of noise in time for the game's release in June of this year. And we're also releasing an album of some of this music, which looks like this, and then it has the title No Man's Sky Music for an Infinite Universe. The next 65 Days of Static and the official soundtrack to the game, just short of 2 hours of new music. Album 1, Music for an Infinite Universe. And the song titles for the first album are Monolith, Supermoon, Asimov, Heliosphere, Blueprint for a Slow Machine, Pillars of Frost, Escape Velocity, Red Parallax, Hypersleep, End of the World Sun. Album 2 is titled Soundscapes, and judging by the title of the album and some of the titles of the songs, it looks like it might be ambient tracks rather than actual structured songs. But this is definitely something I am super excited for, and I will be putting my pre-order in immediately. Guys, I know this video is pretty short, but let me know down below in the comment section how many of you plan on pre-ordering this or at least getting it at some point in time. Maybe it's something you're not interested in. Maybe you just want to play the game. As some of you guys out there have never heard of 65 Days of Static, look them up. I couldn't imagine a whole lot of people knowing what No Man's Sky is and not knowing who 65 Days of Static is, but new people every day are learning about No Man's Sky, and there's so much out there to learn, and they may not even know who 65 Days of Static is. But if you haven't heard of 65 Days of Static, definitely give them a look on YouTube. As always, I do love you guys. Thank you so much for coming back. New Indie TV coming within a day or two. Updates on Planet Nomads and Megaton Rainfall. Until next time.